ladies, it's Angela with Angela Designs. Today, this is going to be a long tutorial, so sit down, get ready, grab a cup of joe, coffee, tea, whatever it is that you enjoy, and sit back and watch this long tutorial because I'm going to be creating a beautiful bridal fairy. And I'm going to be using this beautiful porcelain piece doll here. This is the bodice part, and I'm going to be using a cone as the base for the doll, and here I'm setting up a way to have more stability with the cone, and I have already pre-cut the measurements out. So what I've done is I've hot glued a wooden dowel that's about yeah, it's a full 12-inch wooden dowel. So it's going to go on like that, and then you're going to have so much on there. So what I'm going to do is glue this wooden dowel bottom part to the bottom of the cone here. So what I'm going to do is get my hot glue gun, make sure I have enough, and I'm going to put a bead of hot glue along the edge. Just kind of doubling it up in certain areas, and then you're going to very carefully press that down. You're going to let the glue dry. All of this will be covered up anyway, but I just want to make sure I have a good stable thing. So to stabilize this from not moving around, I'm going to cut out just a little circle like that. This is out of this chipboard right here. Cut out a little circle. Then I'm going to punch a hole using my crocodile. Make it a little bit bigger by moving it around. There we go. And this should fit snugly on here like that. Nice. And then this will keep this stable. Okay, then I'm going to put some hot glue around that area. When I make stuff, I want to make sure that everything is stable and that it doesn't move or can tip over or anything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away any excess that I see. Okay. Just trimming away. I will probably have this doll for sale in my Etsy once she's done. I've got so many projects and dolls, and I'm being overflowed actually. So I put my projects up for sale most of the time, because unless I really, really like it, I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to run over here and get some white felt. Hang on just a minute. Okay, I get my white felt. This is Presto felt. It's adhesive back felt, and I use it a lot in a lot of projects. So I'm going to clean up this area here as well. The tip here. And this one don't have to be perfect. I mean, nobody's going to see it, but there you go. Everything is nice and stable and sturdy. And that's the way I like it, especially using a porcelain doll. Yeah. Okay, because she's got some weight to her. Now I'm just going to wrap this cone in felt. You can paint it or you can do anything of that nature, but I just want to wrap it in felt. And that's really nice right there. So what I'm going to do, see if I can get this started. This is just for, you know, just being very meticulous with how you present your work and everything, and you just want it to be nice for the person that is receiving. Now I know now I'm going to chip off the excess. And I'll use the pieces to cover the areas that weren't covered. Okay. So the only area that was not covered was this one. So I'm just going to piece it together like that and go along like that. I'm going to go on down and then cut away any excess. That this is what's irritating sometimes, is after you've need to cut it, it wants to stick to your scissor. Okay, there we go. Nice and covered, and then you can take that piece right there and just wrap it around there. But it's nice and covered. It's not perfect, but it's covered. That's what I like. Okay, and then I did do a bottom piece to go on the bottom as well, a felt bottom. And I had measured that earlier. So I'm going to put this on here like that and trim off any excess needed. Now the dress I'm going to be using or I'm making it from scratch. I'm not it will not be able to come off the doll. I'm building the dress onto the doll, and that's what you do with this particular project, because you know, it looks like this, and then of course it says to make your cone, and that's the body, and then it tells you to build the dress onto the doll. So that's what I'm going to do. So, but I'm going to build it my way. Build it my way. Okay, so now she has something very nice and cushioned to stand on there. And see, I'm making sure that she has something nice to stand on. There we go. Alright. I might need to put another piece of chipboard on here, because that right there is causing it not to be level. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here and figure out, punch the hole into the cone here and here and here, and I'm going to try to anchor this piece here. I have to decide what I need to do. So I will be back in a few moments. Where's my mouse? Okay, ladies, I've got her secured. She's nice and secured on this base here, which is really simple to do. Very nice. So I have taken the cotton fabric, underlining of a wedding dress. As you can see, it's the edges is already hemmed very nicely, and I've done a whip stitch. And now what I'm going to do is fit this on. Now this will not be shown. The black the black thread will not be shown. So right here at her hip, that is where I'm wanting to keep it. So you're just going to what I'm going to do is put just a little dot of glue right here so that I can hold this end here. Okay, and then you're going to work with by pulling and gathering, and I'm going to make sure, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is put a locking stitch at the end like that. So now it cannot become undone. And I'm going to snip this thread away. Put that over there. Now what I want to do is go around to make sure everything is even, and I'm going to take hot glue. Got hot glue boogers all over my glue gun. Nasty. Okay, now what I want to do is just carefully, and I'm going right above the holes that are in I'm going right above the hole there. Because I want this doll to be very, very secure. Okay, I'm going to go along the hip area, bring it on around very nicely. And there you go. Now see how beautiful and bellowy that's going to be. Get all over the camera. See how beautiful and bellowy it's going to be. So to tack this together, the ends together, I'm just going to carefully run a bead of hot glue. This is for the this is just for the lining. Just like that. It's just like making a liquid stitch. Then you're going to go on around and continue the process. Like so. There we go. Now this is going to be, I'm going to be using some can material that's really going to make the dress bellow out very beautifully. And that's what's going to come on next. Like so. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. You see there. Nice. Now, the can material I'm talking about is this stuff. And it's very, very stiff. And it comes out from underneath a wedding dress. So I'm going to have to tame this large demon of tulle. This is a very strong tulle, and it will make any dress stick out. And I've got to measure how much. So what I'm going to do is gather a bunch of this together. Okay, now I've gathered quite a bit of this, so what I'm going to do is do a whip stitch and do the same thing I did here, and I'm going to whip stitch this tulle and hopefully get it tamed, and we will see how it looks. Gotta find the end of it. So I'll be back in just a few. Okay, now I took the tulle, or you can call it the can tulle, and I did the same thing as I did with the white lining. So we have the white lining and now the can. Now this is some satin from a wedding dress. I just cut a piece off, just a square, because I want to figure out, you know, I want to kind of figure out how I want this dress to bellow out. And I'm probably going to have to make a separate train to go on the back of it, because my ideas are coming. They're really coming. So what I'm going to do next is do a whip stitch again with this piece right here, and then put it around this area, and then I'm going to start decorating it and creating the bodice. So I will be right back with that step done. Okay, this dress is getting huge. Okay, I took the satin, and of course I made it a little bit longer in the back, as you see here, and I hand sewed it around, or I hand sewed it right here, because I want this part here very flat, and you'll see why in a moment. Now this is, let me raise my camera up a little bit. This right here is a wedding dress that I purchased at a yard sale for $1. I couldn't believe I got it for $1. But it has some beautiful embroidery, and this was the skirt of it down here at the bottom. So what I want to achieve, if I can achieve it, is right here. I want to have this section, you know, it goes from right here all the way around, you know, all the way around into the train here. It'll go like this. It'll go like that. And then it'll stop at her hips. And then, because I want to do something very decorative on her, on the front of the dress. And that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to achieve. So it's going to take me a little bit to figure this out, because I'm still figuring out how I want to do her bodice and everything. I'm building the dress on her, basically. So, but yeah, it will start up here, and then it will cascade down like this, and then it will go back up like this into her skirt. And then the front of it, you can tell, as the front of it, see, this will come on around like this, and it'll stop right there, and then it'll do the same thing here. It'll stop in the front, as you can see there, and that's why I want this piece left open for a different reason. So, and that's what I gotta do. I gotta figure this out, work with it, because this is a lot of material, and I'm definitely not gonna be using all of it. And it's got a beautiful design on the tail of it, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. So that's where I am at as this moment. So okay, so I'm going to be doing that, and I will once I get that section done, I will show you the next step. And basically all I'm going to be doing is creating just another layer to go on top of here, and that's it. You know, I've already got 3 layers on here so far, so I'm just creating this overlay to go on top, and I hand sew it on. I don't glue it on, I'm hand sewing it on. So alright, I'll show you the rest of it. I'll be back in a little bit.
Let me turn down my fan so it doesn't interfere.
Okay. Hey ladies, I am here with Robin McCrum. Robin, she is a wonderful artist. She does some of the most beautiful projects, and she's in here chatting with me as I am working on this beautiful bride fairy that I'm doing. And I wanted to go over with you what I have done. I have put the beading around the bodice area right here, and I made it look like a 3D flower. If you can see, you can still see her cleavage right there, and it just looks like a 3D flower laying on her shoulder. And then when you turn the doll around, I used appliques from a wedding dress with the same dangles that are hanging on the front. They're hanging on the back here, and then I'm just finished up putting the appliques on the back here. Now on the front here, as you can see, this is the way it's going to lay, like this. And now what I'm doing is attaching the pearl down the seam here so that, you know, it looks nice, and it's an added touch to it and everything. And right, Robin, you won't be able to see the doll because I'm using one camera.
Okay, all right. She's gorgeous. Whatever you're doing, she's gorgeous.
Yes, because I was talking to Robin as I was doing the bodice part. And I just wanted to show you all the next steps that I'm doing here is just putting the, I'm going to put the beading all the way down to the edge here. I'm going to do it on this side. And then I'm going to figure out what I want to do here. So once I'll be back once I get done doing the gluing of the beading on this side and this side. So I'll be right back. Okay, ladies, I took the beading and I went all the way down the sides here. I also took the beading all the way down, all the way around. I mean, all the way around the dress here. Now, what I've started to do is if you fold this back, I'm starting to put the appliques on the front, but I'm only doing the front part. I'm only doing the front. And I was about to maybe put another applique, but I'm not sure if it needs it. So I'm going to spread this out. As you see, when it lays like this in the front, you can still see some applique work through the here, and you can spread this open like this and fluff this up like that, and bam, you have it right there. Let me see if I can see how it lays beautifully. Just lays just very nice, very nice. Okay, and then the back here is just as beautiful. You see, I've done the beading on the back. Let me pan out so you can see the back and see how it lays just like this. And this piece here, let me zoom in. You can see this piece here lays right there on the back. Now, my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on her the hair. Now, as you can see here, here is the dangles I put on the side here that match the dangles on the back. And I did all of this, put the appliques on here, and put the appliques down onto here through the front. As you can see, there's appliques all through there. Let me back it out just a little bit. You know, appliques like this. Measuring her, let's get the ruler out so that I can tell you exactly how tall she is. Oh, here we go. Okay, starting from she stands about 16 inches tall, and I would say well over maybe 25 inches with her dress being blown out. So 16 by 25. Very, you know, this would be gorgeous on a bed or setting on a table. It will be for sale in my Etsy. So just to let y'all know. Now, I was thinking of taking some of the beads and putting it in her hair, and also working on a small bouquet to put in her hand. I also thought, why not try, let's see, where are they at? Yeah. I have angel wings like this, and I was so determined to see if they would, you know, to make her a beautiful angel like this. I don't know. That's why I need y'all's help. Should I make her an angel, or should I make her a bride? So this is part 1 of this dress video, of this doll video. So this is part 1, and I need your help in telling me, should I make her a fairy or leave her a bride? So let me know in the comment sections below, and then part 2 will be out for all of you to enjoy and to learn what more I do to this beautiful creation. So again, it will be for sale in my Etsy once it's completed. If you are interested in this doll, you can let me know privately. So I will see you in part 2.